Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal. My name is Jamie Williams. Joining me as usual is my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello, Jamie.
And we're also got Emma Flood.
Hello.
From Paranormal. Now we haven't had Emma on since show number 38, and that's when we interviewed you, and show number 42 when we've done a paranormal investigation with you.
Yeah.
So that's been a while because we're on like 130 something. That's 100 shows.
Where have you been?
I know.
It's almost as many,
Been
many
hard
shows
away.
as Jonathan's age. Yeah. And it's great to see you back.
Yeah, it's good to be back. I
Yeah.
feel like it's been ages. I think this is our third time investigating here.
I know we've only seen you twice because, well, I've only seen you twice
Yeah.
because I wasn't here then, was I?
Yeah, the last
So,
one, yeah.
I suppose the middle one, which we weren't here, was the better one for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
I never expected that. Anyway, it's
Nice
nice to meet you
one,
then. Yeah, so what are you looking forward to? Because you're at Mill Street Barracks again. I know we just recently done 2 shows on Mill Street Barracks. When me, Jonathan and Marie went into the ghost hunt, and now you're here and doing the same thing.
Well, some of the team already at the minute are doing a bit of a walk around and they're already picking things up. There's weird knocks, there's whistling, there's heavy breathing. Trust me to miss it.
I know. We've been on edge anyway, the door shut since you panicked.
Yeah, I am a bit on edge. I felt a little bit on edge all
but
day.
I've never seen that door move like that, you know.
No.
To put that wedge under, I know it's got a wedge under it, but it's a big wooden wedge.
Yeah.
I've never seen it slip like that before.
It's
There's
never
no
done
one
that.
walked past it either.
I think what makes me on a little bit on edge tonight is that we've got a smaller group in. Normally there's like 8 to 10 of us, and there's
Yeah.
literally 5 of us.
2 new members as well.
2 new members, yeah, they've been with us since the summer.
Mm.
We've got 2 new cameras. We've got quite a lot of new equipment since we last came here, so I'm looking forward to getting those
Brilliant.
tested out. We've got the shadow tracker, some lasers, and the REM bear that we've not had before whilst we were here. So hopefully they'll show up some good evidence.
We've had some good stuff with REM bears here lately.
Yeah.
I think they're very kind of like a pull for children maybe to use.
Yeah.
It's proved quite a good piece of equipment on investigations that we've done like in the past.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if anything happens.
Well, we were saying, weren't we, a lot of groups have been in recently, and every single one of them have come back and said the activity tonight was unbelievable. And then me and Jonathan decided to do it. Not as much activity at all. But before we started recording,
There were loads.
there was loads of it.
Footsteps upstairs and people walking past the doors there. But then when we actually got down and started doing it, we didn't get that
It was
much,
like-
did we?
No, we don't want
But
to be on radio.
you had the figure there by the bedroom.
Yeah, you know,
By that door, Emma.
yeah.
God.
Just for the listeners, we're in the wardroom, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're just sitting relaxing in the wardroom. And there's where the main door is, the white doors, there's another door which
Yeah.
where we come through with the keys. And it was just them stairs there where the dormitories are. That's where we saw it was like a shadow figure there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel that there's a female in that area because when the first time I ever came here, doing my walk around, and I was with my husband, and you were showing us round, Jamie.
Yeah.
And as I was leaving the dorm, I genuinely heard a female voice go, like as though they were agreeing with something. And I remember saying, "Did you hear that?" And you were both like, "No."
We've had that on the other
The main
set of
stairs.
stairs,
Oh,
on the main
really?
set of stairs.
Female?
Always near,
Yeah.
female, always near the top.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre.
Weird.
And the bedroom, or dormitories, bedroom, whatever you want to call them, that's been pretty active recently.
It has.
We went quiet for a while, didn't it? But it seems to have picked up again. And it's weird, isn't it? When you look at paranormal investigations and you think, this section, there's nothing happening for a long time, and then all of a sudden it kicks off.
Yeah.
And you wonder why, wouldn't you?
I always wonder because as the bedrooms or dormitories, whatever you want to call them, are now, they were all done up a few years back, weren't they? All like replastered, painted, new carpets, everything. And before that, it was the go-to place after the cellar, of course.
Yeah.
And like the classroom, that was the next best place. But it was just don't know, it was dead for ages, literally.
I think it depends. Like if there are spirits around, they might feel more of a kind of like pull to certain people, and that might be why there's activity.
It could be, yeah.
Like if there's a lot of females in a group, they might feel more comfortable, or if there's more males in a group, they might be more comfortable coming through for males. You never know.
Well, the strange thing is we had a group in Junior Paranormal, and we went up into the dormitory with them, and it was pretty active that night, wasn't it?
It was very active.
And we don't know whether it was because the kids were there or what, you know. And it was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
Did I read something about the classroom? Something's been going on in the classroom.
the top classroom, yeah. Yeah.
Which is the top classroom now?
Right above us is when you go up the stairs,
Yeah.
turn left, and then there's a room to your left.
Is that not where they've heard that knock?
Yes, it was.
It was,
yeah.
isn't it? That's where they've heard the knock tonight. Yeah. Oh, that's another one to add to the list then.
So you've been out and about, you've been going out to paranormal investigations in other locations as well?
Yeah, we do one a month. We always try and do one a month. We didn't do one in August because everyone was on holiday, and we don't normally do one in December. But I can't. I have to do one. I've got to be doing one a month.
Got to.
Yeah.
It's
So
like an addiction, isn't it?
it is. I love it, and I mean, like, I don't really go out. I don't go boozing. I don't go to the pub or anything like that. And this is what I do on a weekend. But we've been investigating my offices where I work.
Oh, right.
It dates back to 1706, and it's meant to be. It's on the oldest road in Bolton. So there's rumours that it used to be a brothel, and there's rumours that there was a murder in the cellar. And everybody in that office does not like going in the cellar. They're like, no, I'm not going down there, Rion. No,
You'll go down.
I'll go down, but only with the team.
Yeah.
With the REM bear went off on its own, and the last time we were there, which was, I think it might have been earlier this month actually, we heard a female voice, like a disembodied voice, and it was all captured on camera. It's on our Facebook page. We've been doing Castle Street police station.
Okay.
We've done a couple of charity events there. That's been interesting.
Good.
A female she was kind of like the person that kind of ran the charity. She went a bit quiet through the investigation, and we were like, "Are you all right?" And she was like, "I felt like something like touched my leg, but touched her leg, ran its fingers up her leg, and it's like, that's weird. That's never happened before. That were a bit odd." Where else have we been doing? You know, your mind goes blank, doesn't it?
All the time.
We do.
It's an age thing with us.
Yeah, it's bad for me as well.
Why, what were we talking about then?
It's a tea room in Rivington.
Rivington Pikes?
Yeah, near there.
Yeah.
It's called the Village Green Tea Room, and it's lovely inside, but it's actually situated in a graveyard, and it's right next to a chapel. And there's been some weird things that have gone on there. Like, we've interviewed there we've gone there probably about 6 or 7 times now, and things just move on their own. Like, brooms and mops will be pushed over, and we have a camera on the particular area, and you see this broom just get pushed over. It's just bizarre. Our shadow tracker kept going off in the hallway,
Right.
and I was like, "There's someone here. They want to communicate with the owner." And I said, "Has anyone passed away recently that you could think it could be?" And it turns out there was a past customer that had passed away, and he was really close to her, and he'd give her kids presents and stuff at Christmas. Anyway, he wanted to give her some Christmas cards because he knew unfortunately he was poorly, and he knew he probably wouldn't be around.
Yeah.
And in this card he wrote to her, "I'll be the ghost haunting you afterwards." And
that's a story in itself, isn't it?
That's bizarre. And then obviously we're having all this happening, and I was like, it's him. And then funnily enough, I did a talk at a networking event about this and what happened, and I can't remember the guy's name, but when I mentioned his name, 2 people in the networking went, "I know who it was." Like, he used to be a teacher. Like I know his wife, and I was like, this is weird. So it's like his story was wanting to be told. And I was like, it's quite nice really that he's come back to say hello. But she'd known him for years. Like he'd been to her christening when she was little. So I was like, that's quite a comfort.
So nice. It's not there to harm anyone.
No,
it's just
absolutely
there to say,
not.
I'm here.
I think the thing with this is that there's too much drama going on. There's too many people that throw the word D around too much. I'm not going to say it because I don't really like using the word, but I just think it's all for drama. It's all for views, and it's like not everything's negative. I think if you're people that are coming through want to make contact because they've got a story to tell. And it's the living you've got to be scared of, not the dead.
Yeah, try working with them.
There's a difference, isn't there, when you're watching all these things on Facebook and YouTube. I've got no problem with, I mean, the titles some of them use, and some of the stuff that gets said in the investigations and stuff. Yeah, it's all for entertainment, it's all for views, each to their own, isn't it? And I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it takes it away from
we
the
prefer
true
to keep it real.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's it. And there's sometimes when we go live and nothing happens, and I'm like,
well, that's it, isn't it?
We can't make things happen.
People don't mind that. If you're doing it and you're honest with it, people don't mind. If you go for an hour on the live and nothing happens, they just enjoy the anticipation of something happening.
Yeah.
You know, if I went on a live and things were happening all the time, I'd get bored because I'd be thinking. Then you'd start doubting and thinking, well, why is it happening all the time? But I go on others, nothing's happening. And I think that's where you get the benefits of the doubts then. You know, you think, you pull away from them ones.
That's it. I mean, we're quite friendly with a team of investigators in America, and they were involved in the Amazon Prime film documentary called The House in Between. It's a fantastic documentary. It's amazing. So Steve Gonsalves was involved in it. So the house is based in Mississippi, in Florence, Mississippi, and there's so many things that have gone on there. So there's this lady called Alice. She is beautiful. She's a beautiful person. She's just wonderful, and she had the house built. It was built in the 90s, so it's not an old house, but the actual foundations and the ground that it's built on is ancient, really old. So this happened probably just over 10 years ago. She was in the house and she saw this bright white light from underneath her door, and it frightened the hell out of her, and she refused to stay there ever since. So she'd have been talking to people about what had happened, and obviously in Mississippi they're not the most receptive for that kind of story. But somebody that she knew a ghost hunter called John Bullard, and John was like, well, I'll take a look at it for you if you want. So he's gone, used some of his equipment, and he's like, yeah, okay, there's something's going on here. And then I don't know how he got in touch with Brad, another guy, but they kind of teamed up together, and they've caught some amazing things. Doors closing, balls will fall down stairs, dolls move. It's such an interesting location. And then they had a medium come in, and she was talking about a fire that happened in Florence, Mississippi. And as they started talking about the fire, Alice's fire alarm started going off, like a smoke alarm.
That's unusual.
And I was like, that's
weird.
Did somebody just walk past there?
Yeah, it was one of your guys.
Oh, right, okay. I was just like, I just saw something. It was just because you said that you've seen things go past. So I was like,
ahead of you, haven't you?
A long night, yeah, absolutely. But it's honestly, if you get a chance to watch it, it's fantastic, and there's some amazing footage because they had cadaver dogs in, and they were really interested in certain locations in the garden, which was interesting. And I don't want to spoil it for you because obviously if you want to watch it, but the second kind of film, it's mind blowing because the things that they find in that garden, wow, it's just.
We'll have to watch that.
It's
so
fantastic.
What's it called, Emma?
So it's called The House in Between.
And where can you watch it?
On Amazon Prime.
We'll have to find that and watch that.
It's brilliant, and do you know what? I bet John would be happy to have a chat with you on the radio. Obviously, he's based in America, but I can put you in touch with him.
We don't mind because we've got a Zoom, so we can.
But yeah, because I think John met Nick Groff as well, because I think he did some work with Ghost Adventures.
Nice.
So he met obviously Nick and Zach.
Yeah.
But I really like the way of their investigating. It's quite raw, and I think that's one of the things he said about our team. He was like, you know, you don't think everything's paranormal. You kind of like, right, okay, could it be the heating? Could it be the lights? And you strip it back. Of course you do.
You debunk more than you.
And if it ends up and it's you can find a solution to whatever that noise or light or whatever was, and you ends up getting nothing from your university, well, so be it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the way it is.
Well,
if you find something out that you can't figure out, then that's good.
Unexplainable.
Like,
that's it.
A little bit earlier on, Emma, you're with your team and you got the bang and it's a good one. And automatically somebody said, it's probably the heating.
Or the pipes, yeah.
And we've said, the heating's not on. There's no heating on at all. So it can't be the pipes. So that's what makes it more interesting. We've heard it. Yeah.
It's quite a creaky building anyway, isn't it? But I remember the last time we were here, we were sat on the mezzanine.
The what?
The like mezzanine bit,
balcony.
You know, like the balcony bit.
The balcony.
Yeah. Mezzanine.
We're not from Bolton.
I know. Posh
Builderians. Come on.
From the mezzanine. Yeah.
But we heard it sounded like marching footsteps, and I was like, that's from the hall. That is coming from the hall. It was, but then we were in the cellar. I think it was the time before that, and we heard that massive bang, and everyone was like, "What the hell was that?" And when we went upstairs, I was like, "My bag's on the floor," and it was on the seat. So I'm assuming that noise was my bag.
Yeah.
So you've got to think logically.
You've got to. I mean, we always do where we can. You know
I think debunking is just as satisfying as the paranormal itself, because
it is.
You know yourself. If you see something paranormal and you can't explain it, you know.
Yeah.
But how difficult is it? And you've got to say, Emma, when you see something, and then somebody else goes, "Did you see that?" And you go, "Yeah." You think, "Am I just saying it because he said it?"
Yeah.
I know I did see it, and it's that proof, and that's the most difficult part of paranormal investigating.
That's when we did the investigation at my offices. We were in one of the offices on the top floor, and we were all in one room. So I think there was 5 or 6 of us, and we were sat there calling out, and then Gary stood up to just check his camera, and as he's looking at the camera, all of a sudden this is what you heard. You heard a, ooh, that's what we heard. Gary spun round and was like, "Did you hear that?" And we were all like, that came from within the building. And it echoed around the stairwell. I was like, what is going on? And it was like 10 o'clock at night, and it echoed from within the building, and I was just like, what is going on? So I remember, because my bosses were like, anything happen? And I was like, yeah, you just be careful, because there's something going on, and everyone has said there's something in your offices, you need to be careful.
And if you give us a wage rise, we'll get rid of it.
Yeah.
But everyone's interested in it, though. I think people are, though, aren't they? Like,
they are. It's not like years ago. If you said, I do paranormal thing, you're a weird person.
Yeah, they automatically just
weird,
think you are. Yeah.
Now it's the norm, and that's thankfully that's because of television.
Yeah. I know Most Haunted kicked it all off, didn't they? Really?
I think the one before that was the one that kicked it off was Ghost Watch.
Oh, I remember watching that.
And then Most Haunted escalated it.
I remember watching that. I remember being absolutely terrified. What was the guy called? Mr. Pipes?
Mr. Pipes. And
Mr.
it was on
Pipes.
Halloween night.
Yeah. But because Parky, was it Parky or Aspel? Michael Parkinson.
He was so serious.
Yeah, but because he was the kind of host, everyone took it seriously.
Oh, yeah.
Because obviously he was like royalty. He was TV royalty, so everyone just believed it. So I remember watching it with my dad, and I was petrified. When that girl had those scratches on her face, I didn't sleep for a week.
But the other part
I was only 11.
I know we've gone off cuff a bit, but the other part of that was when the cameraman disappeared down into the cellar. You remember it, don't you?
Horrendous.
And now, when you think about it, that's what, 1992? And it's still memorable today.
But I don't think, I can't remember when Most Haunted came out, but I'm pretty sure it was like, was it early? So it would have been 10 years later.
10 years on,
but
crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, it's come a long way. It has come a long way.
It has, and it was the likes of Most Haunted that gave us that opportunity.
Mm.
You know, we're all walking around now with our names on our...
Yeah.
If you'd have done that a while back, you'd have been...
You'd have been sectioned
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
put away,
yeah.
wouldn't you?
Well, I
now
remember
you see groups everywhere.
I was in like one of the supermarkets and I'd popped in before an investigation, so I had all my gear on. And they were like, what's that? Like, what does it mean? And I was like, oh, I'm in a paranormal group. Like, I run a group in Bolton. Really? And it like,
Yeah.
and everyone's like listening in, and I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
But it makes people talk, and
It
it's
does, it does.
it's just-
I've had a few things. I've had my daughter in school doing an art exam, and she wanted some photo. I sent her something on Barron Hill.
Yeah.
So I gave her some pictures from this like abandoned mansion in Wales, and the art teacher loved them, and she was like, "Where is this? How's he got these pictures and stuff?" And I sent her some of the Crosby bunkers.
Yeah.
Sent some pictures of that, and she's like, "Oh, my dad's a paranormal investigator," and she's like, "It's brilliant that," and she keeps emailing me for
You
more
love it?
pictures and stuff.
Yeah. Well, the weirdest one we ever done, me and Jonathan, must be 10 years ago now with Leah.
Oh God, yeah.
She went,
In
we
school.
have to go into the school and talk to them. So me and Jonathan had to go down to the school. We never had an idea to what we were going to say or nothing. But we said, yeah, okay then. We went down, didn't we?
Yeah.
And he said, oh yeah, it's only for a few people. There must have been in that room 70 to 100 people.
They all wanted
Yeah.
to
And we had to do the
get in on
tour. We done the talk, didn't we?
Yeah.
And then we were packing up at dinner time. We were just packing everything up. She went, oh, you're going for a break? And I said, no, we're finished, aren't we? She went, oh no, there's another bunch coming in this afternoon. I went, what?
You're joking.
Yeah. So we ended up staying right up till about 2:30, 3 o'clock, didn't we? We had to do a second section. But they were just like, it was like a massive people.
it's people are interested in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the teachers.
Yeah.
But there's no TV
Leah's
shows.
uni. Leah, like, she's finished uni now, like, but only a couple of months ago, and she was telling her tutor, she lives round the corner. And
Really?
she's like, yeah,
Yeah.
she lives in Eccleston, she lives in.
Oh, right.
And I don't know how they got onto the subject, but they got onto the subject, and Leah's like, oh, my dad does paranormal group and everything, do YouTube and podcasts and all the rest of it. And she said that's all they talked about for about 2 hours, and they've all subscribed to the YouTube and
Yeah.
Keep
the
it
Facebook
going, keep
and
like,
everything.
subscribe,
Yeah,
and whatever, yeah.
definitely.
And I'm like, all right.
I think that's our next step, is getting a YouTube channel, but
Yeah.
I'm just not techie in the slightest, so
Nor are we.
I'd need somebody to do it
Do you know,
for
you
me.
don't have to be these days,
No.
Emma. You don't.
True.
You don't have to be.
But
There's hundreds out there as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's
I feel like
I think that was the next step, though, wasn't it? From a UK point of view. All right, we had like Ghost Adventures and Paranormal Lockdown. When Jamie was on, I was waiting for him to say.
I wasn't going to say, I don't talk about it, you know that.
And all the other ones from like America,
yeah,
and we had Most Haunted, didn't we?
there's not really
When that
any in
went-
the UK, is there?
Well,
No.
that
There isn't.
it stopped, didn't it? And then it came back for a little bit.
Well,
and
there's
then it
Help
went
My
off.
House Was Haunted.
Yeah.
That's a UK one, though.
Yeah. So they do a little few bits like that.
But there's
But the
nothing.
rest of it's on YouTube. You type paranormal onto
Everything's
YouTube.
there.
There's
There's
millions.
loads of them.
It's
Absolutely
getting the
loads of them.
funding as well for the actual shows, because I did an interview last night actually on my paranormal page with Dalen from the Ghost Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
From that is based in Atlanta, and he said that, you know, he goes to locations that are free. So he does, his YouTube channel's
Yeah.
called The Graveyard Shift, and he just goes to different graveyards like close by and
Yeah,
gets his equipment
That's
out.
it, innit?
And he was like, obviously I'm respectful, he said, but I'm
Yeah.
talking, and it's just,
Well,
you've
we've
got to do
done
what you
loads
do.
of outdoor, haven't we?
We do it with Nigel Back.
Yeah, we do for Bad Ben.
Yeah.
We do it
They
with
love
him,
him.
and he puts it onto his
Roku channel.
Roku channel. He's got
Yeah.
his own Roku channel, goes on there, and that's
Loves
going to
it.
be going onto Amazon and stuff.
Yeah, it's ideal.
But we do it for him, and he loves it.
They love, and Scott, who's with them,
Yeah.
he goes to Scott, do you want to do a call? And he goes, and he leans forward then, because you can see the
Yeah.
enjoyment of it, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
It's a
doesn't
bit
matter.
different, like on Zoom, and they're sitting in a little studio
Yeah.
in his
Works.
basement.
With his log fire.
Yeah.
I hope you're listening to this, Nigel.
Yeah.
We were out one night and we were in Anglesey, weren't we?
Oh, I said to him, check the weather
It's the
before it
windiest
come
place
down,
ever.
right? It goes down. The times we got there at afternoon, didn't we?
Yeah. It was lovely.
And my wife stays in the cottage. She doesn't do paranormal, but she came with me. And she stays in the cottage, didn't she? Used all the wood and coal for the fire.
Yeah. My brother's house. My brother lives there.
And we went off. I said to him a day or two before, I said, check the weather's going to be alright. And we done the St. Cyril's well.
Well, yeah.
And then we got there, right, to walk up this like path thing like that. The water was gushing down on the path even before we got to the
Flooded.
well. When we got to the well, it was like, well, he reckons it was, the way he was talking, it was about 6 foot deep. It was only about, I'd say, a couple of inches deep. But it's like the heavens is opened and it was all this water running down this big mountain.
And we had to stand there, and we were standing in the water, weren't we?
Oh, it was freezing cold. It was so
think
wet.
I think we've done a part 1 and part 2 with that one, didn't
We
we?
were there for about 2
So-
hours.
And the little well, it's only a small well, Emma. And I sat down in a puddle of water. Yeah. Well, that's going out. That's. I think that's been out, hasn't it? I think that's been out now.
No, I don't think it is, you know.
Hasn't it?
No.
Oh, has he not put that one out yet?
No. Oh, no, yeah, no, it
Yeah,
has.
he has,
it
he has, yeah.
Yeah, he
So
has.
that's a good one. So
It's a lie, yeah.
going back to Emma,
Yeah.
because it's Emma's show. Emma's
Don't
on
panic, because he moved his hand centre like
there. Has he done that, Emma? Has he done that? Do
Stop
you know what? Emma's a
panicking.
paranormal investigator, and she's nervous as hell.
I just feel on edge tonight for some reason.
You'll be
Well,
fine.
it's
I
not
don't
like you,
know.
though.
I know. I'm normally alright. I'm quite up for it, but I'm a bit like, I'll be fine. I've had a cup of tea. I'll be alright.
You might need more than that once you start getting going in there.
I know. I should have brought my whiskey.
Tell us a little bit about your group, about the team itself, because we went off the cuff a little bit, James. Poor you're sitting.
We haven't seen this for a while.
I
and
know.
there's
Yeah.
only- You've got new
It's
people.
like a reunion, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got like the main core people that have been here for a good few years. We've got a couple of new people. So Dan, I don't know if you remember meeting Dan or not. So Dan's in our group. He's an ex-police officer. He runs his own business now, doing like eco-friendly clothing. He actually designed the hoodies and stuff for us.
Oh, right.
We've got Lindsay. She's a director of a construction company.
Wow.
Gary is like a joiner. Audrey's an accountant. Reese deals with like musical instruments. Steve, it's not a dentist, but he makes like false teeth, you know, that
Oh,
kind
right.
of thing.
Right,
Like, in
okay,
effect,
yeah.
like
Diverse group. there,
very
isn't it?
diverse,
Yeah.
yeah.
Some goes,
So there's lots of different personalities,
Yes, isn't it?
yeah.
which
And
is
it's
good.
funny, because when you think of paranormal groups, you don't think of people's careers. You know, you've got an accountant, an
Mm.
ex-police officer,
Yeah.
a builder,
Mm.
a false tooth man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
And
know,
then
I mean, if you put them in their companies now, and they said to their staff, "Yeah, I do paranormal investigation," you go, "What?"
yeah, it's surprising.
Strange,
It is.
yeah.
Like when I go on the networking events with work, you've got to like the team building and whatnot. You've got to tell people something interesting about yourself. So obviously I've got this to talk to.
Jonathan finds that difficult.
Oh, he's got it in for you tonight, hasn't he?
He always has, you know.
But when you say though that like, oh, I'm into paranormal investigating and I run my own team, straight away if you sat around a table, everyone leans forward and they're like,
Yeah,
what?
but-
They're
yeah.
interested,
What?
aren't they?
Really? And I'm like, yeah. But I think it's just the unknown. People are interested in it, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you turn around and say, "Oh, I do knitting for a hobby," they go, "Oh, right,
Well,
okay."
that's what they-
So about yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, when I'd said that, one of the ladies who actually runs a networking company, she asked me to be one of the guest speakers, and I was like, yeah. So that was back in September. So I had to get up in front of like 50 people and just do a talk on the paranormal, and everyone was just like everyone listened to everything I said. And when I told them about my experiences and what's happened, it's just everyone's got a story.
Doesn't it bother you getting up?
No,
No, I'm the same. It doesn't
no,
bother
I
me.
don't mind doing that. No, it doesn't bother me.
I don't care, do I? I just do it.
I know.
I'm not worried one bit.
Because they're all like that.
So if anybody wants anybody to talk and want
Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me.
Yeah,
It
so
sends
you-
them to sleep.
Sorry?
Because you send them all to sleep.
Exactly. So you've got some new equipment, haven't you? You mentioned it a little bit earlier on.
Yeah.
The cameras, I mean, we were looking at the cameras and they're fantastic. Explain a little bit about the cameras.
So they're kind of like the infrared, I'm sure they're called Phasm. I'm not the most techy, so they're basically wireless, and the tripod that they're on is like a built-in kind of battery. So they carry them round and they can see everything in the dark, everything's really clear. You can easily transport it to your phone, so it just makes it easier for viewing. And the sound and visual quality is amazing. They're not cheap. They're quite expensive, and obviously we're all self-funded, so we're non-profit.
Yeah.
So everything we buy is all paid for out of our own pocket.
Emma, nothing's ever cheap when
I
you do the
know,
paranormal
it's
stuff.
not.
Just, don't get me on the cat balls, because that's my pet haters.
I know.
They call it spirit balls.
I know.
And you had 20 quid on spirit.
This is it. I mean, to be honest with you, whenever it's like my birthday or if it's Christmas, I'll just say, "Oh, just get me something like paranormal equipment, or give me money towards paranormal equipment."
That's it, isn't it?
So I've got my REM Bear, the shadow tracker, which is really good. And I bought these lasers. So I've seen other teams use them, and I thought, do you know what? They look a bit expensive. So I've just bought, just from like a kid's toy, basically, a laser. But it's amazing because it literally just does what you need it to do. If anything breaks the laser, it sets an alarm off, and that's what you need. So if you know that if something's broken that laser and you've got a camera on it, all right, it could have been a fly or something.
It has to be spot on with the laser, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be good to have down in the cellar.
Yeah.
So you're now back here at Mill Street Barracks. It's been how many months? 6 months? 7 months?
Oh, longer than that.
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's been just over a year, you know. I think it was a year in February.
Wow. So the last time you were here then, did you have anything happen then? And is that making you more
Yeah, I
anxious
mean,
about what happened tonight?
that's when we heard the footsteps. But the cellar made me feel very uncomfortable. And what made me uncomfortable is after we'd started playing kind of like old music that kind of like resonated for like the 40s, 30s and 40s. So there was things happening in that cellar. You could hear shuffling a little bit, and the cellar, I love it, but it's making me a bit apprehensive.
Like the big cellar.
Yeah, the big
It
one.
is, I mean, that cellar is a good cellar. I mean, a good cellar. Sounds like I'm trying to sell it. There's jokes in this somewhere, isn't there? But yeah, the group themselves, I mean, there's two who have never been here before.
Never
How are they
been.
feeling about it?
They're really excited because they watched Paranormal Lockdown UK, the one with Nick and Katrina.
Yeah.
And they're just both mega excited to get investigating. They're really keen and eager because it's all new to them. Any new locations, they just love it. Like they're really interested in it. They actually came on one of our charity events about 18 months ago, and we kept in touch. And you know when you can spot something in someone, and they're best friends. And they joined on the investigation, and they were asking the right questions, and they weren't scared of like calling out. And I said to the group, I said, listen, there's two lads that were in that paranormal like charity night. I said, I think they'd be really good for the team. I said they'd get stuck in, not scared of asking the questions, and you know, we need people like that. So I messaged them and I said, listen, would you be interested in joining? Straight away they were like, oh yeah, we'd love it.
Wow.
So we asked them to join us because you can just see something in someone, like
and the enthusiasm.
and they're both really nice lads, and I knew that they'd gel well with the group, which they do. You know, they really help out. They help Gary with like setting up the equipment and stuff, and they're a really good like addition to the team.
So how many's in your team now? Because every time I see you, there's a bit of a change.
Yeah, so there's so Ross, Gary, Steve, Reese, Dan. Me, Katie, Lindsay, Sherelle, Audrey. 10 of us.
10 of us?
Yeah.
That's just about right, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
For a team?
And plus, if you think about it, not every time everyone can always come.
Yeah.
So originally there was meant to be another 3 people coming, but one's heavily pregnant, so she still does come on investigations, but she's been having Braxton Hicks, bless her, and I was like, you better not come because I do not want to be...
Inconvenience.
Well, bless her. So, yeah, as soon as the little one arrives, and obviously she's well enough and
She'll be
back on her feet, she loves it. She's really keen on it.
Babysitting for
Yeah,
a long
yeah,
time.
yeah. And then Lindsay should have been coming, but I got the dates mixed up because, in all honesty, my head's been all over the place the last few weeks. I was convinced it was Friday, which obviously I was right because I always am. But the team were like, I'm pretty sure you said the 25th, and I was like, we'd never do investigations on a Saturday night. It's always a Friday. No, it's 25th. So I was like, right, okay. So Lindsay then booked a spa night to stay over with the friends. And then I was like, Lindsay, it's the 24th. And she's like, oh, I've booked it now. And I was like, right.
Lindsay, shame on you.
I know.
Paranormal investigations.
Would rather have a massage tonight rather than do it tomorrow. I'm having my massage tomorrow.
Do you know what
I've
I'd
got
do?
it right.
I'd go and get somebody else.
Well, I can't actually do that with Lindsay because she's actually one of my best friends. She was my chief bridesmaid at my wedding.
You
Yeah,
have to let her off then.
So
You're
yeah,
a lucky lady, Lindsay. Yeah.
give her a bit of slack.
But, I mean, the one who's pregnant.
Exactly.
I mean, that's out of order.
I know. I bloody dare shit.
I know.
But yeah, I can't wait. So as soon as the little one arrives, it'll be like the next generation of ghost hunters for
That's it,
Paranorthern.
That's it.
So
Para
can't
babies.
wait. Para babies,
You
yeah.
can start
that's
off
it.
in the junior paranormal.
Yeah.
And work your way through to
That's it.
Yeah.
paranormal.
bless.
can't
That's
we?
the way, yeah.
But we're supposed to be coming on an investigation with you, aren't we? And we've
Yeah.
yapped that much. That we, I think
Yeah.
we should start the investigation.
Absolutely.
What do you
Get some
reckon,
lives
Jonathan?
going on. It'll be
Yes.
good. Get all the lights off.
We have to.
Yeah,
We know what's here.
I know.
We don't want any lights off.
We need it.
Oh,
Creates the
okay.
atmosphere.
Yeah.
You know, there's already one.
I
Tell you.
know, I know.
Yeah. Well, after what's happened there, so what we'll do is we'll finish off here,
Yeah.
and then we'll put a little bit of an advert on, and off we go on the ghost hunt.
Yeah.
Or should we just carry on and go on the ghost hunt now?
Just go for it.
Come on then, let's go.
Just go for it.
No advert, sorry. You'll just have to pull up with us. So we'll take this.
Get all our equipment.
Hold on. I'm just getting sorted. Right, we'll be back in a minute. Wherever we are, we'll come back to you then. See you in a moment.
If you'd like to join our Facebook community, why not search for Access Paranormal Radio Podcast? There's always something very spooky going on the Access Paranormal Facebook page.
Jonathan,
Yeah.
you're eating. Paranorthern have already gone. We said we'd be going with them. You had to go to nip to the ladies, the gents.
The lady!
No, listen, they're down the cellar. Come on, let's get going, eh? And hopefully we'll have a good night with them. Okay. I bet mine should have been quicker.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Peed and weed and then we might complain that you haven't had your chocolate bar. So, have you got a torch with you?
Just so happens I haven't.
Just so happens I have.
Have you?
Yeah, let's go back and get it. I'm looking how dark it is over there. Are you? Do you know what? How many years have we been in paranormal investigations? And we had to come and get a torch because it's too dark.
I have nothing with me tonight. So.
You must be the most pathetic paranormal investigators around, you know. You know, start looking for... Yeah, you just carry on eating the chocolate bars while I struggle. There, there's the torches there. Have you got it? Try that one works. Wouldn't it be best if you had the light off? Tried it.
That's fine. That's alright.
Is this the one with the battery running out? Yeah. Forget it. Take that one you've got. Yeah. Wait for me. Right, so now we're going back down to the we're going to the cellars with Paranorthern. Hey, where do you think you're going?
I was going up the door.
I'll tell that. Remember that when they bring me in the door. Okay, let's go and meet them down there. Do you know what I'm waiting for? One of them to be standing there waiting to jump out on us.
Don't.
Imagine us videoing this. Gogglebox would have a great laugh at us, wouldn't he? Dumb and Dumber. You're the one with the crunchy. It's only yours. What? Yeah, come on, I can hear them. Will you turn the torch on? What's wrong? Where are they? Come on, let's go. Are we going or not?
Are we?
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I hope so, anyway. Are you down here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. We're alright. We're just heading to Paranorthern. Emma, I couldn't even get the name of your group right. So I couldn't even get the name of your group right. There we go, they're in here. We could hear all these voices and we were going, they thought you weren't in the cellar. So we're here now, finally. This looks like a table for sacrificing. You see the way they've done it?
It wasn't us that did it like this.
Wasn't it?
No,
Was it already like this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're not talking to each other.
Getting ourselves ready.
Sounds right.
Who's doing it, Reece?
Yeah, I'll give it a go.
I was like, why won't it come on?
Man, the
Turn
way
the
your
battery
camera
round.
right up here.
Shouldn't be.
Where is your camera?
There's one there.
There's one more.
Right. You brought your
I'll
packed
put
lunch with you?
mask on.
Yeah.
Oh, you're doing sensory?
Put it on the fuck off upstairs.
I'm doing that to you.
I'm going to have to bleep that now.
Sorry.
I'm going to leave it in. What's your name, address, phone number, so I can tell everyone?
What did the thing you say? 200?
200 sweet.
Yeah. Hold on, I put it on.
So for the listeners of the radio show, one of the team is now going to do sensory deprivation.
Oh yeah, I am.
Not far from the cot. Are you the one in the shorts?
Yeah.
I am indeed.
Oh, yeah.
You need to stop yawning, Gary.
Sorry.
Keep all of that.
Looks more like a podcaster than us, John.
Pardon?
Looks more like a podcaster more than us. So, do you asking questions now, Emma? Yeah.
Yeah. It just takes a few minutes warm up, like.
Mm-hmm.
You might not get anything, or it might be just absolute, like, gobbledygook at first, but then you do start getting a few good responses. Well, we normally do.
Let's get used to the sounds of the cellar first. So we're in the cellar at Mill Street Barracks.
Hello.
What did he say now?
Hello.
Hello. So Reese is doing the SS method. He's got noise cancelling headphones in with a spirit box frequency going through the headphones. We can't hear what they're saying. And I've just said, so we're at Mill Street Barracks, and he said hello. Are you okay?
No.
That's quick, that.
No.
What's the matter?
Are you upset that we are down here? Are you happy that we are down here?
No.
3 no's in a row.
Hmm?
3 no's in a row.
Would you like us to leave?
Can you tell me your name? What's your name?
Why aren't you happy?
You two. Hi.
No, that's 2. Can I just say what I've just observed? Emma and sorry, what's your name?
Katie.
Katie. You're the only 2 that said asked them a question then. And he said you 2. It's the only 2 females.
Are you not happy that there's females down here? How do you feel about the females?
Neither.
No.
Neither would you.
Neither would you.
Do you want it to just be the men?
What's that?
It's just my
Camera.
Do you want it to just be the men?
I'm a boy.
I'm a boy.
How old are you then?
How old are you?
Could you tell us your age, please?
Goodness sake. Listen.
Listen.
We're listening.
Can you touch the bear? Can you make the bear light up?
War.
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 Hell.
War and hell.
Hmm.
Was this your final resting place? Is this a familiar building to you?
Which war were you in?
That's a yes. Fool.
Can you tell us your exact age?
No.
Do you not want to communicate with us?
Are you upset?
You tell me.
You sound upset.
He does, doesn't
Tell me. No.
Yeah, you seem upset. Why?
Are you affecting Reese?
Scotland.
How many spirits are in the room? Can you tell us how many spirits are in the room?
Pay attention. Attention.
Are you a sergeant or a corporal or something like that? Are you someone in charge?
Aware. Attention.
Do you want us to stand up?
Please stand. He's coming.
Mm.
What? He's coming.
Who's coming?
Please stand. Attention. He's here.
Who's here?
This is freaking me out.
Who is here?
Respect.
This is all something to do with the military.
Respect.
Yeah,
Sounds like
sounds
it.
like it.
Mm.
We respect you. We respect the soldiers. How many people are in this room?
Quiet, please.
He's going.
It's like a sergeant, isn't it? Is it sergeant on?
Silence.
I feel like I'm at school.
Do you not want us to talk?
What is your name?
You've got to ask him a question because he seems like he's connecting to you.
To the wall.
Suppose that would be a punishment.
Did something bad happen to you? Do you want to tell us about it?
Good.
We're here to listen to you.
Coincidence.
Can you tell us your rank?
That's me, sorry, on the table.
We failed.
Do you know you've passed?
Do you know what year it is?
Just keep an eye on his breathing.
Long ago.
Jamie asked, do you know if you passed long ago? So he knows he passed long ago.
Long time. Long.
So you know you've passed away?
What year did you pass?
Next question.
Doesn't want
You don't want to answer that question.
What is your name?
Are you able to tell us your name?
Stew.
Stu.
Is that short for Stuart?
Stuart.
Thank
Pay
you.
attention.
Thank you.
What was your rank, Stuart?
He's coming.
Who's coming?
Is it the commander?
Sentence.
Stuart, were you married? Stuart, were you...
Slice. The smell.
Did you die by bayonet?
Everywhere. Rats. The rats. You know this.
Were you lying in a field?
You know all too well.
Right, you out in no man's land.
You know. You.
Who?
Who knows?
Up the stairs.
Would you like us to leave?
Questions. Enough.
Are you getting tired?
I think we should stop. What do you think?
We'll pull them out of it.
And then just do some asking calling out.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I thought you'd do that.
Upstairs.
Gonna jump. It's twice he said upstairs then.
It's not unusual. I think
Yeah.
you hear stuff down here that sounds like it's upstairs.
You didn't get footsteps upstairs.
Sorry if that didn't make any sense.
Reece,
Oh,
that
yeah,
was,
yeah,
that
yeah.
was mental.
You are.
That was
Made
mental.
absolutely loads of
It didn't,
sense.
I remember a lot of stuff what I was saying, but it just made no sense to me.
Honestly, like, you were like saying, he's coming, and you went, do you want us to stand? Next thing you went, stand up, and we were like, oh,
Is that when I said attention?
yeah.
Yeah.
You kept saying attention.
But Emma said, she was asking you all a question, you said, stop the questions, stop asking me questions.
I can't remember saying that.
And
They
then
were mad
when,
that.
when you asked your name,
Stuart.
you said Stu,
Stu.
and then you
And
went
then,
Stu.
then I said, is that short for Stuart? And you went, Stuart.
Do you know anyone who's Stuart?
No.
No, we might have to do
I'm digging.
You should have a good one.
me.
What did you feel like? Did you feel like you got into a trance?
Oh, I can't explain it.
It sounded like you were describing dying in the middle of no man's land, being
You kept
surrounded
saying
by like
rats
loads of rats and
and
Rats, the
slice.
smell.
and
You said slice.
it sounded
then you
like
went everywhere, and then you went rats.
You know.
yeah,
You should know.
it
you're-
literally sounded like World War One.
You ever done it
Maybe,
before?
that's why I'm a bit nervous about doing it here.
But
I think you'll be alright.
That's test method.
That were,
How are you feeling?
believe it or not, tired.
That's what Dan said.
Tired.
You alright? You're shaking.
cold.
Yeah, but I feel like I've just woke up.
So Jonathan, we're coming towards the end of the show now. We've just finished our investigation here with Access Paranormal. That's us, isn't it?
That's us. Oh my gosh. Paranormal.
Emma and the team.
Yeah.
And it was a great night with them. I really enjoyed that, didn't you?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Really good interview as well.
Yeah.
But
loved
anyway,
it.
we've got to go. It's coming to the end of the show. We'll
Yeah.
be back again next week. And until then, we'll see you all soon. Good
Okay.
night.
Good night.